Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into something that is absolutely crucial for anyone running a company today. But hey, before we get started, please press the like button and the subscribe button to support the channel. It really helps us keep making these deep dives for you. All right, let's just get right into it.
Cybersecurity for small businesses isn't optional. That is the core truth we are operating from today. Whether you're a solo entrepreneur grinding away in a home office, or you're managing a fast-moving team of 50 people, you are actively at risk. It might sound a bit intense, I know, but it's just the reality of the digital landscape right now. Literally, one single successful cyber attack can completely wipe out a business that took you years of sweat, tears, and late nights to build.
So moving right into Section 1, the small business target myth. Because, as it turns out, hackers absolutely love low-hanging fruit.
There's this huge disconnect here between expectation and reality. You probably think cybercriminals are only going after massive national corporations. The big brands you constantly see in the news. But the reality? It's the exact opposite. Small businesses are actually the low-hanging fruit. And why is that? Well, they usually just don't have the massive budgets for enterprise-level defenses or 24/7 security monitoring. Hackers know this. They know smaller shops might be running outdated software or using super weak passwords, which just makes them a vastly easier mark.
Now, what's truly kind of terrifying is how these attacks actually go down. These criminals, they don't even need to be highly sophisticated, and they definitely aren't singling you out personally. They just use automated bots that silently scan the internet. It's exactly like a thief walking down a street in the middle of the night, automatically rattling every single doorknob on the block until they find the one that happens to be unlocked. If your network has an easy vulnerability, these automated bots are going to find it.
All right, on to Section 2, the fallout. Let's look at the true cost of these attacks.
So, let's say the worst happens. Ransomware locks your files, or a data breach actually goes through. Your day-to-day operations are going to hit an absolute brick wall, unleashing this total cascade of catastrophic costs. We're talking about shelling out for crazy ransom demands just to get your own data back. We're looking at paralyzing downtime where you literally cannot serve your clients, meaning your revenue drops to zero immediately. Then, you've got steep legal fees, potential regulatory fines for violating data laws, and the incredibly painful, expensive process of having to tell all your customers that their data was stolen.
But wait, there's a hidden cost that might be even worse. Beyond that immediate financial bleed we just looked at, the long-term reputational damage can be a total business killer. A cyber incident completely undermines years of hard-earned trust. Think about it. If your customers feel like their sensitive information isn't safe with you, they're gone. They will go straight to your competitors, permanently destroying the loyalty you've worked so incredibly hard to build.
And you know how it usually starts? Not with some high-tech, movie-style hacking sequence. It almost always starts with a simple phishing email. Just one deceptive message, one totally honest mistake by a busy, stressed-out employee, and boom, they have essentially handed over the master keys to your entire digital kingdom in like 2 minutes. That is literally all it takes for an attacker to get inside.
Okay, let's pivot to some good news. Section 3, Big Defense. Simple security habits.
The big takeaway here is that protecting your business doesn't actually require an enormous budget or some crazy complicated IT infrastructure. You can drastically lower your risk just by adopting a few foundational habits. Keeping your software updated, that closes known loopholes. Using strong, unique passwords, baseline must-have. But I really want to emphasize this. Require multi-factor authentication, or MFA, everywhere, and regularly back up your critical data. If you have rock-solid backups and reliable antivirus software, you can actually bounce back even if the worst-case scenario happens.
Then, you build on those basics. You layer your defenses. You've got to actively monitor for suspicious activity and strictly limit unauthorized access. Don't give every single employee access to every single file if they don't actually need it to do their job, right? Encrypt your Wi-Fi network so random outsiders can't snoop, and get active firewalls in place. Layering these specific steps takes your small business from being that easy, low-hanging fruit and turns it into a fortified vault.
Plus, you can't fix what you don't realize is broken. That's why running regular security assessments is absolutely critical. It shines a light on those invisible vulnerabilities. Actually, it might be a piece of outdated software you totally forgot was on the server, or maybe a risk coming from a third-party vendor you work with. These assessments catch those blind spots well before a hacker can ever exploit them.
Which brings us to our final piece of the puzzle. Section 4, the human firewall, empowering your employees.
Here's a fairly sobering statistic. Human error is the root cause behind the vast majority of successful cyber attacks. Because of that, implementing comprehensive, ongoing cybersecurity training for your team is just as vital as any firewall or fancy software you could possibly buy. Your employees? They are quite literally your first line of defense.
And you have to support them. Every single company needs to have a documented cybersecurity strategy in place. Look, when a crisis hits, people panic. It's human nature. But a clear, written strategy completely cuts through that confusion. It ensures you have a rapid, coordinated response if an attack actually happens, so everyone knows exactly what to do to stop the bleeding.
So we'll wrap up with this thought. Proactive protection is becoming one of the most important investments a small business can make. You really have to stop looking at this as just an annoying IT expense. It's business insurance. Committing to these simple, everyday defenses is what guarantees the safety of your company's finances, your customer relationships, and your overall long-term stability as these digital threats just keep evolving.
So knowing all those immense risks that are lurking out there and seeing the incredibly simple, actionable solutions you can implement today, the real question is, are you ready to step up? Are you ready to truly protect the business you have dedicated your life to building? Take the steps, build those habits, and secure your future. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.